Good morning, everyone. We're early. It's 1:47. So almost 15 minutes earlier than the original starting time, but I'm done. I'm ready, and I thought, let's just start the stream. A lot going on. Interesting things going on. I think a lot of people might have blown their account yesterday, thinking it's a short, it's a short, it's a short. And eventually, after almost all morning just consolidating or sort of like moving in a weird way, it just pumped up. In pre-market prep, I was more bullish than bearish, and I tried initially a long, but I was far too early, so that was so I was slightly red in the morning. I made it. One eval was 10 points in the red, and one was about, I believe, 28 points in the red. Both were 28 points, and with one I got a little short, a little long. I made up for some points, but slightly closed my day on a micro, by the way. So, because I was like, so I just don't, something is off for me. I just don't feel the short yet. And I tried it. I tried the long first, and that didn't work because I was too early. Then I tried the short, and that didn't work. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to demo trade from now on. And I got the long, but it pumped much higher. But I was already out. And what happened? I fell asleep. Actually, I thought, let me watch some tennis, and I'll go. I was actually planning to trade the PM session, but I fell asleep. I was really tired because it's night here then, right? And I'm just very tired lately. And now I feel I'm recharged, so I'm okay. Hey, Lance. Crazy, and your stream just popped up in my head. Oh well, I guess that's a nice thing. So then I get a 30-minute countdown immediately after. I'm focused on making some improvements this week. I'm happy to hear from what you shared. Hey, listen, it's your journey, and yeah, if you feel you want to make some changes, and it's only you who can decide, and who knows what you need to do, right? But the thing is, like, we can all say these things. We can all show what makes us profitable or works for us, but that might not be your thing. But the one thing that I started noticing with profitable traders, they all did the same thing. They all were disciplined. They all had rules. They all, and I was like, oh, so it sort of like made me because I recognize everything what you're saying, and I don't think you're that much of an exception to the rule. You're really just, everybody goes through those things what you shared yesterday. But yeah, I mean, anything that can help. The channel, the purpose of the channel is to help each other. So, hey Arctic, how are you? I bottom ticked this. Well done. Yeah, I mean, guys, listen. If we go higher, I can see us go to 30,800. So, and just I want to show you guys why I wasn't eager in that short yesterday. We just dumped off a accumulation zone. We literally dumped off from here. It was from here, right? We did this. And I'm like, this is not a top. This is a normal top. So, is the top in? Who knows? Could be. We don't want to call tops and bottoms, but this could be the top. But I'm also thinking maybe we're going to form one more high. We could go one more leg higher, and maybe this week with NFP, and then maybe next week we'll have the low resistance short to the downside. In pre-market prep, I shared a point of interest, and I said I want to see this hit before London open. That was this area here. We haven't done it yet, so it makes me doubt. It makes me doubt the short again, the continuation of the short. Who knows? At 3 o'clock we might start dumping, but I don't know. I don't. Again, I'm not comfortable again, because I would, if I would really see like a confirmation, like say 4 hour breaker being activated or whatever, and then a retest of that one, I would get in any account, and I would just also my live account, and I've got a TP all the way down here. I would let it run all the way to here. That's going to be my trade, and I would position myself, but I really need to see invalidation of some specific things, because there's too many bullish PD arrays still in the area for me to really be interested in just positioning myself here for that short. So, I just can't afford to pay. Well, just reach out to me, Lance. Shoot me a message on the Discord. Um, I had a decent day, 1500-ish on 2K evals. If I have a stop, but it's 25 points wide is okay if you have if it's an A plus model. You know, my stop is around 30 points. So 25 points not bad at all, depending on your what your model is. I'm a little bit, it's a bit cold here today. I've got a sniffy nose. It's winter here. For you guys at winter, what do you mean? It's still 25 degrees. But yeah, anyway, so I we've got NFP this week. Do we have news today? I was hesitant of the short yesterday a little bit, and obviously me getting in already, caused me for that loss because I felt FOMO a little bit in the pre-market, and I was like, oh my god, maybe I'm gonna miss it. Maybe I'm missing something, right? Maybe I'm missing something. So yeah, I guess that's FOMO. But yeah, and then my initial trade was at long, and it worked out, but it was really late. It was lunch hour that it really started popping up. We started going up already at 10 o'clock. I got stopped out in this area also on a long, I remember. I can't remember. It was a little bit wicky here. I think I got stopped out around this area. Yeah, in this wick somewhere, I think. Here. And then we had this, then I positioned myself again, and I posted in the pre-market prep. I said my TP is going to be here. And then it blasted through it. And then I said I will add and then I will add and play it up to this black line here. That was my plan. And then it actually went even higher. But yeah, we made a new top. See, this is not a top, guys. This is not a top. You see, this is just a accumulation zone. We went lower and then AMD. So this was the manipulation move, distribution to the upside, targeting these highs. Now the question is this the high? Is the high in or not? I'm going to do a poll with you guys. I'm really curious what you guys think. Hey, Jose, how are you doing? Did you manage to take that long? I fell asleep after. I was actually planning to do the PM session, but I fell asleep. I was watching tennis. I love Grand Slam, and I was watching some tennis, Berrettini, and yesterday I had a pizza. I fell asleep afterwards. I woke up I'm so tired, I'm just too tired. I was little bit tired last few days because I didn't sleep well, but now I feel I'm fully recharged, so now I don't feel tired anymore. So what time is it? 1:56, almost 2 o'clock. Almost 2 o'clock. I'm going to do a poll with you guys. How many people are here? 16. I'm going to start the poll. I leave almost at the same time. Who expected that? I mean, I didn't expect that move up that much, to be honest, but I did. I was thinking about the long. But yeah, we made a nice top here. But are we going to make another top? I don't like Discord, but how do I find you on there? Oh, never mind. I mean, you don't have to go on the Discord if you don't like it. I still have to make a new code though. Let me just do that quickly. Hold on. Um, hey, company man Carl, how are you doing? Good morning to you. And let me update the. Oh, I think a whole branch with avocados just fell. Let me quickly check, guys, because if so, I need to get it because before the animals get there. Can't see it from here, but anyway, I'll check it later on. Okay. Anyway, we're fighting for those for the last avos. I mean, they're so huge. I mean, they're really like ostrich eggs. But it's said when a bird gets to them, they open it up, but they don't take. If it's unripe, they just leave them and they just rot. Um, pom pom pom. Okay, for now we're just gonna watch. I mean, are we going to go lower from here again, or are we gonna go higher? It's too much sun. Got the sunshine. Okay, let me go back to the 1 minute. Okay, 152.10 macro. Let's see if we are respecting this one here. Um, also what gave away a lot yesterday was that ES and NQ were not in sync a couple of times per day. It already happened in London a couple of times. You could see they were just sort of like out of sync. Um, just wondering if we are going to go into this fair value gap and then blast off again, or are we going to disrespect this ES fair value gap? ES is giving more bearish vibes than bullish vibes, and Q is still a little bit unclear. You know what I don't like about NQ? What happened at this wick here? You see, guys, you see this wick at at 0.35. I don't know if you guys noticed this wick here. This manipulation wick, 0.35 exactly. That is already telling me like, and it went exactly to one of my levels that I marked. I already marked that in pre-market prep. You can see that I already marked this area. It's already there. So I'm keeping my eye. If we go lower, I'm definitely keeping my eye on this wick because I think if we go here, we might reject in this wick again. See, we have a wick here and here we have another wick here. It's sort of like giving me a little bit of a vibe like, what are you doing with that wick here? So I don't know if MNQ has that wick as well. Let's check MNQ, guys, at 0.35. MNQ 0.35. MNQ does not have that wick. So if you're charting on MNQ, you do want to keep that that level. Just draw the wick on your chart. You want to have it in your chart. Yeah, it's not there on MNQ. Obviously, it's a different order flow. Of MNQ will always have it has its own order flow because there's different. But if you see a wick like that, you still want to have it on your radar, so to speak, right? Yeah. It's very algorithmic. It's extremely algorithmic range as well. But it's a bloody large wick. How many points is that wick? It's an almost 60-point wick. So, yeah. And let's see, midnight is literally it crossed midnight as well. Let's see if midnight is in algorithm, if it's in exactly midpoint or quarter or third. Let's see. Let me grade it. Let me grade you. Let me give you a little bit of gradients. How is the whole week? Okay, here we go. I'm gonna leave it. It's such a weird candle. Open 401, the low 340. Yeah, it's all the way. It's a 60-point wick. It's telling us something. So for those on MNQ, make sure you have this on your chart as well. Or just be aware of the levels. Okay, let me get this off. Otherwise it's too much. So let's see if we're rejecting this area here. Okay, let's see. I really want to check ES. I don't know what you're doing. Hmm. Yeah. I don't know. I still think we're gonna go. I think we're not done to the upside yet. I don't know. I don't look here what we have right above this one here on the 6 hour. We have got a devil's mark right in a wick. Ugh. Bloody bastards. You bloody bastards. I see you. ES. Okay, let's see if you are. Where are you bouncing off? Are you bouncing off anything? Okay, I'm just gonna keep this one on. So let's see if we can go. Once we go over the end dot, let's see with ES if we get a body closure on the 15 minute or the 1 hour above this end dog event horizon, we might attack this area here and then maybe get into this area here before we either go sell off again or what. But I can see us go all the way up here again. It makes sense if we check the range. So am I bearish yet? No, not in the sense of like I really want to position myself heavenly for a short. I can see I can. Yesterday after the high that it was made. Yesterday I said nah, I'm not interested in a short at all in sense. But now this high that we made yesterday PM session, I'm like okay, now this could be a high, but we still could go one more leg higher, for example, and go to the 800 level. But this could be the high. It could be. But I want confirmation. I want really like, I think now 4 hour market structure shift. I'm not going to go for less right now. It's just too risky for me. What was I doing here? Here we go. Yeah. So on ES, this previous EQ is exactly 0.5 of the range. So let's say to go to premium, we have to go above this level. So I can see this, it makes sense. It's a logical level for ES to go. It could not do it and just reverse from here, but once it starts going over this level here and we have a body closure, I can see this level being targeted. But we have to wait. Again, it's wait, wait, wait. A lot of people are getting impatient now because they want to short it and I'm sure a lot of people blew their accounts yesterday, sadly. Okay, let's see. Okay, I see. I think yeah, ES is a little bit more clearer. Do you have any friends or well, my aunt, company man call my aunt. She's a long-term investor. She was actually the one that got me into my aunt from Houston, Texas. She's the one that got me into trading. But she was more. It was more advice from her that she says, you know, you should study the mark. You should at least know how the financial markets work. So she said, you better, just have some interest in it. She isn't a day trader, she's a long term investor, so she just built a large portfolio with mainly dividend stocks. So she's literally living off it right now. It's making a lot of money off just dividends, even though when the market is down, it's still a lot of money. But yeah, but she went into the library, she's very old now. But I don't think she started really that young. I think she was around her 50s maybe when she started doing it. And obviously her husband had a good job, and she used to have a job as well, but at some point she stopped working. But she was the one who's literally, you know did the investing of their money, and she did extremely well. But for her it's more long-term investing. But I guess it's just, she just sort of like, really pushed me to get some interest, like, hey, just study the markets and just get I think it's wise that everybody should have some financial literacy, and that's how it started actually. Um, so I started like, I subscribed to some newsletter that they did long-term investing, and just more that, you get a lot of articles sent about specific stocks and overall general market dynamics, and that's where it all started. And then, yeah, then COVID came, and I thought, oh, maybe I can also day trade now, get more interest. And then obviously I did all the things that we mostly do as retailers, learned the wrong stuff. um Hey, Mareth, how are you doing? Yeah, you explained it to your wife, but she isn't interested at all. Yeah, well, at least, she doesn't have to be interested, but just supportive. A little bit of support would be nice. And if not, then, it will be a little bit hard though. But yeah. I mean, it's hard if you don't have the interest to get people. I mean, I also people in my in my environment, they're like, what are you talking? They're like, yeah, but what do you talk about then when you're streaming? And I tell them, yeah, I show them the chart and I talk about, yeah, but what do you talk? You cannot explain that we can talk about a chart all day. They're like, yeah, but what are you talking about? And just, yeah, well, about the chart and what's happening and if we can take a trade. And but they sort of like, yeah, but what is the that is the topic. And they're like, you're just watching a chart and you talk about that all day? Yeah. And they look at me like, really? I said, yeah. So it's people have they just don't, they're either not as nerdy as we are, or they just it's not interesting at all for them, and which is possible. I mean, I'm not interested in some other things as well, but it's like really I can see their faces, and I try like, and at some point I just don't. I'm just, okay, well, and I've got one friend, he's just very honest. He says, yeah, I'm so happy for you. And I know he is. And we have the same career path for a long time. And he says, but I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. But, I can see it. You're happy. I'm sure you're making other people happy. Go for it. And he says, but I have no fucking idea. And I'm like, yeah, no point for me listening any further. But hey, he's just looking at it from a coaching background. Okay, she's happy what she's talking about. Probably she's reaching an audience. But he's just honest. He says, and he's not even trying. He says, I have no idea what you're talking about. And he doesn't care either. I know. But, he's just generally interested in how it makes me feel. And, yeah, what I can do for other people. And he knows that if I can reach other people, or just community wise, if it's, yeah, so. Lance, I saw. I'll send. I saw you send a friend request. So I don't do that, to make sure that it's me and not a scammer. But yeah. So once we are friends, it's me, and then I can send you a message. But yeah, no problem. I mean, if you hate this, I hate social media, to be honest. But I need Discord. I need Discord in order to stay in touch with you guys outside the stream. Because sometimes something happens with the internet, then it's very easy just to send one message on Discord on my phone, and and sometimes maybe do something outside YouTube as well. So it's just there for a reason. It's just to have better ways of communicating with you guys, and you can talk as well. So yeah. But anyway, I'm still watching the chart, and oh, let me do a poll. Yeah, your Discord is hired. It's huge. Actually, I started the Discord very. We had a very small community very fast. I think I was in with 150 subscribers, and we had a few people, and they said, "Hey, just can you start a Discord so we can communicate?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm so small." And then I realized it doesn't matter how big or small you are. It's just, even if you have one or two people and you want to communicate, the Discord needs to, it's the only way you can actually, build on top of the YouTube channel. So that's why I started very quickly with the Discord, just to be able to communicate. And I'm happy that I did, because, for example, with Methor, what happened, he was one of the first subscribers. And for some reason, when I don't change my chat to live chat, it stays on top chat. When I open it, I didn't see his messages. We still haven't figured out why they changed his. We still have not figured it out. And luckily he was on the Discord because he was like saying hello every morning. How are you? And I never responded to him because I never saw his message. And he was like, did she block me or did I say something wrong? So I'm so happy that he actually sent me a message on Discord like, hey, can I ask you something? Did you block me or something? Because I'm sending like messages all week and you're not responding. And I said, no, but I haven't seen you for a while. He says, yeah, but I'm sending messages. So there we found out that I have to switch to live chat. But if I didn't have them in Discord, I wouldn't know, right? So I'm really happy with the Discord. So just a small, uh, yeah, Lance, that's why I have the Discord. Just for the sense of community. But I hate social media. Hey, Richard, how are you? Hey, Richard, I think you missed the. I'm going to do a poll. I'll get into your question again because I think there's more people coming in again. But let me just make the poll. New all-time high today or not? We're going to do a little bit. Yes or no? I'm just curious what you guys think. Today. Okay, we'll zoom in a little bit later in London. So, Richard, I'm neutral at the moment. I'm waiting for invalidation of higher time frame bullish PD rays to be sure that okay, the short is coming. Now, yesterday I wasn't able to get it out of my mouth to say okay, I think the high is in. Today I can say okay, there is a possibility that this is the high that we created yesterday. But I can still see us, if we do take out this high, I can see us go to 30,800. So, for example, ES, I'm thinking, okay, if we can get a body closure above this event horizon of the end dog, I can see us go here, take out this devil's mark, right? There's no wick on top of that one. And it matches also with the OTE golden zone. But then the question is, are we going to go lower from there on? Or are we going to make a new high? But I can see us for now I'm bullish, looking at ES. And Q doesn't give me any clarity, to be honest. Just following ES, I'm thinking, okay, with ES I can get this logic structure. And Q on the other hand, I'm like, yeah, do you want to disrespect this inversion, or is this used as a bullish PD array or bearish PD array as well? So for me, and Q is a little bit, so I'm just thinking of following ES today and looking more at ES because this is just cleaner to me, easier to make any logic out of it. So neutral in this sense, but if we have a body closure over here, I'll go to the 15-minute. I want a 15-minute body closure. I can see us go up here on ES and then maybe all the way up to here. And Q most likely will follow if it's not decoupled. Like yesterday, it was a couple of times and Q and ES were decoupled. And that's already, for me, that gave me already, yesterday I was very, very careful, if you remember. I was like, yeah, it's a short, but, we just slammed down from accumulation area. I never liked that. I never liked that because it's like, yeah, it's sort of, it has unfinished business there. We had SMT at the highs, SMT at the lows, company man call. We had SMT yesterday. It formed SMT at 3 o'clock and it went lower from that. But I never trade just off SMT. That is just an extra confluence for me. I never trade just off SMT. Because how many times did NQ followed ES last week? There was SMT, but it didn't hold, right? And we've got SMTs at the lows as well. I mean, you can see it right over here, right? You see the S&T on ES and NQ here. And here they're equal. I don't see any S&T at the highs anymore. We already they both took out the same high. Um, is ICT strategy working well with new all-time highs all the time? Um, yeah, I don't think it's really about all-time highs. The thing about all-time highs is you don't want to pick bottoms and tops. Um, it's just it's more for me more about invalidation than validation at the moment, like I said, right? So yeah, for me it still works, but it all comes down back to being patient and just being aware of what's going on. And for me it's a win yesterday, being patient and not going into like thinking, oh, it's we're going to get that full blown short to the downside already, because something is telling me like, no, we're not done yet, because there's still bullish PD rays on the higher time frame that were bouncing off continuously. And I'm inclined now, because I posted something in pre-market prep for those who are in it. Like if we don't take this during London, before London, I don't think we might not even see this area in London. So I'm actually like, okay, either we're going to consolidate, because look, we're still in a higher time frame area, just bouncing back and forth, right? So let's see. I'm just, so if we don't do this before London, I wonder if we see this maybe in the afternoon, or maybe, let me check news. Range bound, no, it does nothing. I mean, I don't think ICT works really well in range bound. You need expansion. Range bound is not, but range bounds tells me that we're setting up for a trade later on, right? So, like, say, I was using when I framed that short yesterday, I was literally targeting the area that we were actually where the short came from, because it was an area of accumulation. So I was using that area. That's the black line here. I'll show you. So range bound, in the sense, it doesn't give you instant. Like for those who are in pre-market prep, I literally framed a trade all the way back to our London session, because why? It was range bound, and for me there wasn't a trade there, but I was framing this area as my potential. I'm using it because this was not a high. I mean, people, I'm like, yeah, I don't like to go short from a accumulation range, because it's not there's nothing here, it's just accumulating and it goes straight down. So literally my interest was from here back to here, and maybe we could reject here. So I didn't want to go higher. I just wanted to reassess again. But I fell asleep and it went even higher. But I used this accumulation range as a target later on. So for me, yeah, I don't have any trades maybe when we are forming this, but it helps me to frame a trade later on, right? If that makes sense. So I tend not to trade in accumulation, but accumulation you use as for your AMD, accumulation, manipulation, distribution. It's it's necessary for the market to accumulate orders, to stall, to take a breather, and those areas are very, those are your TPs at some point. Or sometimes your entries as well, if you go over it. And that's where also support, we don't use support and resistance as but those are always also areas that you can use as support and resistance once you have it, like an inversion fair value gaps, things like that, that go over a previous accumulation range. So it's about, you use everything, all your knowledge, but it's all combined in more stuff. It's not like, oh, you can trade ICT in range bound. No, it's not very, there's nothing, for me, nothing, not much to do, because I don't like to trade it. But I use the areas for later on in my analysis to attack those areas, to use them. Hey King, how are you? Okay, so let's see. So I'm long buy. I have more long buys than short buys, but I just want to meet. I just don't. This wick is really. Oh, hold. What are you doing, this, my friend? What's going on? Here you go. Okay. Now I really don't like this wick here. Or actually, maybe I do like it, but um, I'm just keeping it in my thoughts. Have a great day. Are you already leaving, King? Are you already, or did you just come? Did you just? Okay, what did we frame here? What did we do? We rejected here, but we did create a breaker. Let me just check the 15-minute. Just want to check my 15-minute. Okay, 15-minute. We went into a busy. CB, my apologies. So let's see what price wants to do. We did invert on the 15-minute. We have an inversion. We have a closure above this level. So, again, not really. How are my levels? Let me. Okay, are we in premium? Yes, we are. We're going to go lower. Yes, we are. Didn't open. Why is I can't see my, where is it based off? Oh, all the way up there. Sorry guys, I can't see it's not giving me my, hopefully up here. Okay, here we go. Okay. So 705 with this range is exactly the midpoint of that wick. So I think I'm going to go short from here. I'm targeting that 705, yeah. And I might even, what time is it? 2:32. Shit. Yeah, I like this level, 3070. 337. Come on. Okay, let me just do this first. See this always late. I need to see my chart. Oh, I don't care about this. 2:30. Lance, I don't know. I'm not into cannabis. I have no idea, to be honest. Okay, let's see. 2:30. I really like this trade. I really like a trade up to all the way up to this level, 33.70. I think I want to position myself. TP is going to be all the way here. My stop loss is going to be right up. I need to hold on. I'm taking this on my account as well. I really like this trade. Short. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Hold your horses. How many points? 18 up to here. Okay, 107 points. Okay. I'm taking the risk. I'm willing to take the risk. Should I wait until 3 o'clock? 0.5. We need to stay below this level for now and then maybe go up again. It might be too early. I'm willing to accept that. So it might go a little bit higher after 3 o'clock. We'll see. I'm okay. I'm taking the risk. I like this trade. 234. I might be too early, but that's okay. ES might go a little bit. Yeah, the only thing is ES didn't make that high. We'll see. It's just 19 points. I'm willing to take that risk. It's not that much. What are your projections on the monkey visit? Yeah, let me open up the curtains. Because the sun needs to go a little bit. Haven't seen the monkeys yesterday, so I'm expecting a visit today. You see, I told you guys, I said I might be too early. You see that nasty spot? That's okay. That's just telling me that it's like, okay. Okay, you see that nasty spike? NQ, NQ, F you. I'm gonna get, yeah, okay, you want to go higher a little bit? Okay, sure. Okay, but I know you created this wick for a reason, NQ. I know your games. I know you. You see that? You saw that quick move? Let's see if it wants to go higher here. Maybe it wants to go all the way to daily. That's okay. Just going to give me a larger trade at some point. It could have made that same wick to the downside. So, so it doesn't mean I'm bearish if I take it to here, right? It doesn't mean I'm bearish yet. I think there's going to be a lot of manipulation back and forth before we really get that large. That's what I think, but Maybe we are gonna go take out that high first. Let's see. Lance, you already asked me that question, remember? I'm only in crypto long term since 2018. You were surprised. You said, "Oh, I thought you would be in." Maybe you're smoking too much pot. You forget that what happens when you smoke too much pot. People get, they don't remember things. That's what you get. You're too correct. I remember nothing. Oh my God. Well, I mean, if you're a recreational smoker on a regular basis, maybe that's number one thing you should maybe think about. Maybe I think pot and trading doesn't go well together. That's my honest opinion. Does it not show on any other chart? But are you watching NQ1 or are you watching the monthly contract? And you're very chill. I thought you might be a smoker. Oh hell no, 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 no. I don't. And I hate it. I'm sorry. I've seen a lot of. I don't think anything. I don't think much positive of it. I can see the medicinal part of it, but I've seen a lot of young kids ruining their lives because of it. Um, Lens, you told me, okay, okay, if you're older and you know what you're doing and you, whatever, but the thing is, Lens, you told me you're quite young, and the thing is with weed, it changes your brain pattern. It is very addictive for young people when they start very young, and for those who are adults and start at a later age, it doesn't impose such a threat. But for younger people, and I'm from the Netherlands where they were very liberal and everything was allowed. And I've got still people my age, they are fucking losers. They started smoking at a very young age and they're still smoking every day and they've gone nowhere in life. Nowhere. Um, it's always the same thing. Oh, I've got anxiety issues, so I need to smoke. No, you got anxiety issues because of your extensive. I've seen people get into psychosis of weed. I've seen it all. I've helped a lot of people with those issues. So I might be relaxed, but I've seen a lot. I've been through. I've had. I know a lot about alcoholism. My mother was an alcoholic. I had people around me with drug issues, so I know a lot about that stuff. So you're talking to someone who's almost an expert. Let me put it that. That's why I'm very eager. That's why I could say I have no issues with addictions because I know addiction. I know it very well. But I am not. That's why I had to find out that I did have a trading addiction. I was over trading. But I was really like, no, not me, because I've proven to myself that I don't have any of those issues. Um, but yeah, if you're young, please, 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 do not just help yourself because it doesn't have any positivity in the long run if you're young and you start at a learn because your brain is being impacted in such a way that it's really hard to correct it at some point. It really is, and I can talk of experience. I've seen friends going into psychosis just because of the fucking smoking. Just and everybody says it's just weed. No, it's not for young people. It is more than it is. It poses a very big threat. Not when you're older, when your brain is fully developed and you're able to establish differences, but not when you're young. It really is not. Yeah, I know you mentioned it. You mentioned it. It goes together, but yeah, at least you're honest, guys. So don't give him a hard time. He's honest. I thought you were really young, but okay, gotcha. Thank you for your honesty. I appreciate it. But so, but yeah, I've seen so many bad sides of just of weed. I do see the medicinal part of it. I do, but I've seen really a dark side of it as well. And most people that smoke on a regular basis are not successful in life, unfortunately. Yeah, and give me Steve Jobs. Yeah, 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 I know, but I'm just talking about experience. So, um, no, it's about brain. If you look into brain, it's about development of the brain, and it impacts the brain in a certain way. If young people start smoking, it's important if your brain is fully developed. It has a different outcome. But if people start smoking at a very young age, they tend never to be able to get rid of the. It's not about it's your body. It's more a well, just read about it about the addiction. It's a but it's not like heroin or stuff like that. It's not a physical addiction. It's a mental addiction. So and it's very hard to get rid of for youngsters, and it will impact them. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. It's. I don't want. I have a name for it, but I'm not going to say it on stream because it might be insulting. But people from the yeah, and Lance, I appreciate your honesty. So we're not going to give you a hard time. But yeah, so okay, I don't want to talk about. Let's talk about charge because it's more important. Um, Now every yeah, look, we're already battling here one addiction. We are really want to talk. That's the trading addiction, the over trading. That's for us the most important thing that we want to combat and we want to get rid of. So I got the question. Hey, Nokalan, how are you doing? Um, why am I not eager to take this trade right now? I do think now we're going hard. I like ES. What time is it? 2:45. I need to go to the. See, now we were distracted by the weed thing. See, this is the reason actually why yeah, Lance, I appreciate the honesty. Um, why I trade with a very small group at pre-market prep because I like to talk, but I also it's also a little bit distracting for me when I talk. It's me myself that I'm doing it, but I need to when I trade, I need to fully focus as well. And sometimes that's hard when I'm talking because trading is something it really it requires full focus and especially when you trade your account I take it very seriously so now I'm distracted because I need to go to the bathroom as well and I'm going to do that quickly but um, let me do that I'll be right back guys because there'll be enough trading opportunities hold on but yeah Dave, I think we can go all the way up here if you're in a long like I said if we have a closure above here we can go up here and that you can look at NQ has also an N dog here, my purple box. I should make them the same color. I'll do that. But yeah, I mean, we're going higher, definitely. Now, hold on. I need to go to the. Okay. Ooh, it's so chilly. Um, he is home now, home with rotten teeth and retarded. Yeah. S- yeah. I like Pepsi a lot. I'm always trying not to drink Pepsi. Everything is bad these days. Hey, listen. I have my guilty pleasure is my Diet Coke. So I love Diet Coke. We are all messed up for varying degrees. No one is perfect. Correct. Yes. And we all have our own battles. One of my best friends has been smoking non-stop since we were about 17. He's homeless now with rotten teeth. Yeah. Yeah, and I literally lost my boyfriend because of his son addiction issues, and it was all about fucking weed. Oh, it was just horrible. It's just he's 20. He was in his 20s, and ugh, he's just same thing. Rotten teeth. Just, I think to be honest, the rotten teeth is some. I think it's more, but anyway, yeah. Let's stop about the drug because I get very triggered because a lot of bad things from that. Now, I haven't been innocent myself all my life, let me be honest, but you're young and you need to try some things sometimes, but yeah. Okay, guys. Um, Need a break below 33.25. No, listen, if I'm gonna trade it towards that no Kalan, you don't want to be waiting for that break. You want to position yourself and trade it to that break. Because for me, I'm very interested in this level here. Yeah, I'm just curious about. Someone said um, that Wick is not on only on Trading View, but not on any. Let me check my accounts. Can I get in? Let me go to the MNQ, the monthly. Just want to check that Wick. But hey, the Wick is I mean, it is there for sure. That's why I like the NQ one. Um, it's also on the monthly, on the June contract. Are we still on the June contract? We are, right? Yeah, we are. June. Yeah, no, it's there. It's definitely there. It's also on the June. Yes. It's not on yours on Ninja Trader. So what? So are you? What are you on the monthly or are you on the? That's so weird. It's so algorithmic as well. I didn't draw it, guys. I'm gonna check my other account, my Trade of Eight now. I need to change. I have my Trade of Eight. Where's my Trade of Eight? It was open. Where are you? So Ninja Trader doesn't have it. Anyone else checking Trade of Eight? Any prop firm? Because that's important to know. Where? Why did you close? Did I close? Didn't close you. I opened you up. I don't see it either, yeah. But let's see if we put on. Still, BHS doesn't anything. That is so weird. I see what you guys are. Sorry, guys, I hear some animal in distress, and my neighbor's cat is missing. So I'm just trying to hear if it's maybe. Okay, I see, I see. It's very weird. Also on my trade of eight, I don't see it. Uh, but you see what I really like about it is that it matched exactly. This wick midpoint is exactly 705 from this range. Now, obviously, we have extended the range. That's weird. Well, thank you for pointing that out, guys, because it is weird. Now, why would TradingView print that and not on, we don't see it on any other? That is so weird. And it's a lot, it's a 60-point wick. What can it be? How does it? It's not on mine. I use no MNQ doesn't have it. I don't like the pullbacks. That wick is bothering me a little bit. What's your opinion on the NQ? What do you mean pullbacks to the upside or pullback to the downside? Could be just a glitch on trading view. Will be for the first time. I don't know if it's a. I don't know if it's a glitch. Why is it so algorithmically? It is just really the levels are pretty. I mean, so to the down. What's your opinion to the downside? Um, well, I think I understand the question. I think I understand what you want to, but look at the 4 hour. So that's why I'm asking, are you talking to the downside or to the upside? Because I can see if you're bearish, you would say, okay, but we're pulling back all the time to the upside. Um, or are you bullish? Are we pulling down to the downside? Because we're literally going back and forth in this range, right? So that's what I'm saying. I keep on saying I need invalidation of something for me to become really bearish. And with invalidation, I mean a 4 hour change in the state of delivery or preferably a market structure shift. And when do we have a market structure shift, right? And that takes patience because we're building a range here. I really would like to see price maybe go even lower here. And I might even miss the first really large move unless I think, okay, if we start, resisting and using. a bearish order block, and I can see on the higher time frame we're really respecting the higher, we're not going higher than a certain level of a bearish order block. For now, we keep on bouncing off bullish order blocks. We are continue going down and going back up. So for me, it's more like, okay, one of them has to break at some point. One of them has to break. And I'm waiting for that confirmation that gives me like the clarity. Okay, now I am higher time frame really more confident. Because yesterday when we had this short, I was like, yeah, but we are accumulating, it just goes down. But and I said also yesterday pre-market, I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to make a leg higher again, because we're still bouncing off those bullish PDRAs, bullish order, higher time frame order blocks. So what am I thinking about these pullbacks? I'm just sort of like waiting for more an invalidation of one of the bullishness or the bearishness. And for me now, if I'm looking at this, I'm like, yeah, well, the high could be in, because now yesterday we were here, right, at London, remember? And I'm like, this doesn't look like a high to me. This is not a top. This is just you see we went higher, and now I'm like, okay, interesting. Could this be the top? Could be, yeah. But do I want to trade it now as a short? If we get really close to the top, I wouldn't mind to try it again as a turtle soup. But then again, I don't think if we go over here, I think we might go even for another leg higher. I have a friend that was on a trade when it happened, and he said that he did not take out, so he thinks it was a glitch, because he can also able to see it. So he asked me, um, so Kislin, yeah. So for me, it's a little bit like, is it a pullback, or are we just again going to disrespect those levels? So actually, I'm thinking like more waiting for the confirmation if it's really a pullback. So for example, on the 4 hour, I'm looking like, okay, are we going to stay in this range and go lower from here? Because then it might be the pullback, which might be our short position, right? But if it's going to disrespect all these levels again, I'm like, okay, then it's not a pullback, then we are just going to continue higher again. So I think it's actually a very good question. But the question more is for me, like, is it a pullback? So, and I'm just like, yeah, for me, it's a pullback when we have expansion out of a range, and then we return to a range to retest a level. But we need expansion away from a range first in order to have a pullback. And so for me, this is in this area, I'm actually thinking, well, we are still in 4 hour consolidation area. Yes, we made a high here, but I want to see expansion away from the area. And now it's a higher time frame because we're making these large ranges constantly, which is not nice. So for me, it's the question is like, is it a pullback? And look at ES. Look how ES looks, guys. Now on ES, one could argue, yeah, you've got a market structure shift here, or a change in state delivery, yes, but we did not go lower than the low, and that could be manipulation, right? If it doesn't, you would really want to see a body closure below a low, below the low, yeah, the low. I'm saying it correctly. Tongue twister. So, like I said, NQ looks more bearish to me than ES looks more bearish to me than NQ. But then again, we've been rejecting here. Technically, we already went into this fair value gap, right? So on ES, I would say, yeah, it could be a pullback, but we could also go high. If we go higher to these levels, we are already going over, we're creating an inversion here, right? If we go higher here. So I'm watching, for me, ES is very significant now, because if we do go to that level here that I marked, that means we are inverting this one here. And if we have an inversion, who knows? So for me, this is an area. It's just not an area. I'm just. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. On that. Yeah, Richard. I'm also thinking. You know, I wouldn't be. But if we make a new high, I can see us go all the way to 800. So on NQ 30,800. Um, I think we're gonna go for this end dog now. I should make them the same color. Let me make them the same. So the purple ones are. I seen an IFEG on the 1 hour. Yeah, but I'm watching the 4 hour now because for me even the 1 hour is not giving me. Yeah, we got an IFUG, so that's already telling you that we most likely get a 4 hour as well, right? Yeah. Thank you for pointing that out. But let's see, guys, if 3 o'clock. 10, that's a nice move all the way up here. God damn it. A 4 hour here. See, for me, the problem is if I want to enter on the 4 hour continuation, I wouldn't like, because there's an end dog here, I would not trade it as a distribution. So for me, it's just a very hard area for me to trade as a distribution trader because I can see a stop here. We're at 0.5 and ES, so I can see it could easily just go up to here and then reverse, right? So for me, entering here as a distribution trader, it just doesn't have any. There's a blockage here for me. It could. I need to see it go over it, so I don't position myself as a distribution trader just here. See, we've got 2 o'clock here and we go lower. But then there is always a possibility that because an end dog is a magnet, but it's also a TP. You don't want to, it could be a draw on liquidity. It could be the end of and we're at exactly 0.5, a daily open. So I can see it, stop here for now. So I just have to wait. And also we're at 0.5 at ES, right? It's in a bearish fair value gap. So for me, it's like I need confirmation that we're going to disrespect this bearish PD array. And that's why I didn't position myself here. If I would have positioned myself, I was talking, I would only trade it up to here. So this would have been my trade from here up to here. 705 in daily open. That's still a good trade. But yeah, I was distracted by the weed. 74 points. This would have been my trade. Only up to daily open and 705. I wouldn't go higher because we've got midnight here, daily open, 705 level, and that end dog. So that would have been my that would have been I would not hold any longer. And if it goes higher, I would just I for me it would be like, okay, I really would need to see this go over it and then I'll reassess. But this would be my trade up to here. And also, yeah, you want to be careful because ES went into this bearish fair value gap. And like if it's only a retracement, then we could have continuation to the downside again, right? But I can see ES still going higher though. But I don't, I don't like, I need to see expansion away from these areas. I hate higher time frame consolidation. So let's see. How's the cat outside? No, I don't know. I heard yeah, I was looking at the daily wick earlier. Let's have a look at the daily again because there was a so what are we doing here, right? I would be very careful here in this area, guys. Um we could expand higher, but we could also go lower first again. I'm sure we're gonna get a reaction here to the downside again. This could be a daily immediate rebalance. If this is a daily immediate, we're gonna spike up so hard. Let's have a look. Stay calm. Stay calm. The daily is just. Okay, we hit 0.5. We did not hit the daily open yet. It's 3 past. Deliver France. I don't know. I don't hear the cat anymore. And I'm just, the most important thing is I'm looking where my cat is. But the neighbor's cat has been missing for since Friday. So I hope nothing has happened. But it's not good. It's a very, it's a very streetwise cat. So I don't know. Ah, always sad. Okay, we hit exactly 7.5, but we did not hit the daily open yet. 312. Okay, let me have a look at something. Hold on, guys. I look stressed. I'm not stressed at all. Hold on. Do I look stressed? Hey, Green Globe Explorations, how are you? No, no stress. I might be a little bit irritated because the market is just not. I just don't like how we just keep on moving in this range. So, um, oh yeah, I was looking for the news, by the way. Hey, Jay, how are you doing? How are you doing? You still going long? Are you confident? Hey, listen, if you positioned yourself very early, you can take a risk of leaving a runner, right? But always at 7:05, you want to be careful. We're at an end dog. But once we start going over this level, right, if we do, like on the, remember here we got a devil's mark, and if NQ is starting to disrespect this zero point 0.5 level and this SIBI, I guess you're good to go. But I mean, you can expect a reaction here, right? A little bit of a retracement, maybe. But if you have a very good position, very low, you can take the risk with one runner to take it. But just be aware that you just want to watch ES because we're at a zero point 0.5 level and in a bearish PD array. So, and at 7:05, which is also the golden zone where you can get a retracement, but sometimes a full reversal. So this area is key. So that's why if I would have traded, I would have just traded up to here and reassess, take a breather, and reassess to see, okay, what are we doing afterwards, right? Because also it was after the macro was done, right? We reached the high here at 10 past, and it reached, but we didn't tag into the daily open, which is sort of like looking, okay, are you leaving it for later? And are we going to blast through it? Because like I said, if we go higher, I can see us go all the way to 800. But yeah, let's see what. Look, also what I'm looking at is look how decoupled again NQ and ES might be. ES might go higher and Q might go lower, or the other way around. So I'm just also looking at, yesterday was the same thing. It happened like 3 or 4 times that I noticed it. It might happen more, but those things are very indicative. When you see a decoupling, and it happens a lot, if you think it's going to be a short, just be aware like it might not be that way, because when you see decoupling a couple of times per day, it's manipulation all over. Like it was a couple of times that there was a 1 hour candle. The one was bearish and the other one was bullish. Remember that NQ, we took out Asia high twice. Well, it swept Asia high 2 times. NQ did not. Remember that was during London? Oh no, it was 7 o'clock. It was pre-market prep. It swept the Asia high again at 7 o'clock. That was very sus. Yeah, and Kislin, you need to have your plan. If you don't feel confident, you shouldn't be you like Richard. He has a plan and he knows what he's doing. And if he probably has his stop loss already trilled. So, but if you're not confident, you should not be. You should get out of the trade and just reassess and maybe re-enter again and have a plan that you will feel. But just staying in because someone else is confident, it's not a good position to be in. He might be wrong, but he might already has taken off most of his position, have a trading stop loss, whatever. So always, you can always ask advice, but do not trade someone else's plan, because you just don't know. Maybe he positioned himself really, really low. I think he did. And even though it might retrace really all the way back to here, he doesn't care because he's already trailing or whatever, or it's still not. But try to, the moment you don't feel comfortable, you just get out and you reassess and you go journal the trade and you just, you go get back into a new trade if you are confident. You need to be confident in your own plan because, and even if it's wrong, it doesn't matter, you'll journal it, but just trade your own plan. Otherwise, you will become dependent on other people, which is not a good thing in trading. And if it's wrong, and let's say he's wrong, you're going to hate him for it, maybe. It's your own responsibility still, but never listen to anyone else. You can listen to them, but do not trade of it. That's what I want to say. Yeah. So it makes a lot difference if you're more experienced, you already position yourself, and you are already expecting it to go lower first. So Richard already he knows most likely that there will be a reaction here, and it's all, probably already um, built in the plan. But yeah, for me, I'm to be honest, not so certain. Um, Kalan, in all fairness, I don't think I have had many trades over 200 points. I think I maybe had one time or two times 220, but it's rare. My most is between I think average now is 100 and between 100 and 150-ish. But 200 points, I have to go back into my journal. But when you go for more trades, obviously you want to. So the problem is when you trade more or longer, you have to expect pullbacks, and you want to make sure that your stop, unless you sometimes like, you know what, let me just be taken out, or, but you want to calculate those stops in, like, okay, even though it will pull back, but you can see there is not much of a pullback now. That's interesting, right? There's not much of a pullback. The daily open is still not being hit, so that gets my attention already. Look how MNQ is already sort of like going over the midpoint. It's telling us bullishness on the one, even on the 1 hour. So, oh, so we had the same. My average is 80 and 120-ish. Yeah. Okay, let's see, guys. I'm gonna go a little bit. Okay, daily open tagged 322. pam pam. What are we doing? What are we doing? 2027. Are we going to move to 561 now, or are we going to have a pullback? I don't think so. The bearish order block here. Yeah, I think I can go up all the way up to here, but I'm not going to trade 20-point trade. I'm not interested in that, and then I'll wait again. If you're still in, I think you can stay in up to here for sure. ES is going to take out this daily open is right over here. I think I might trade ES though. Hold on. ES is clear. Daily open is 5612. Still 10 points here. I really want to see a pull, but I don't think it will pull back that much from here, from the daily open. 612. 10-4. Daily open. Well, let's see if it can do anything. Hit the end dog. Yeah, no. My trade of eight gets laggy when it's after hours. Is that because volume is so low? Seems no, it should not be because the volume is so low. Might be your laptop or I too belong to a cult. I love it. I'm just gonna. This level is so prominent. I just really want to. Let's see 330, guys. I'm gonna wait. I need to wait. This is a very significant level on ES as well. Reaccumulating orders. I think it's just reaccumulating orders to go higher. Okay, let's go. Okay, now we have, let's see if it wants to, where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? 3:20, almost 3:30. Come on, I want to go in this blue line. I'll enter along, I think from here, but it needs to, I want it to, it's almost 3:30. Three 30 almost. I want a good entry. Okay, I like that 3:30. Hold on. Are we done? Can I a little bit lower? Can you go lower? Here. Okay, I like it. I like to see this. It's holding 3:31. Okay, I'm taking a buy here. My stop loss is very, very tight. It's a very small. It's a small trade, but this is it. Yeah. Enter, same entrance. This level should hold. If not, I'm off again. That's okay. Only 10 points. Um, 361. Yeah, what I don't like is this here. You've got a gap here. Yeah, see, it's too early. He wants to go. I'm just risking 10 points. It's okay. $702. Okay, it's gonna be a stop loss day. It's too long. It should already moved away from it at 333. See, I know when my gut is always telling me when I don't feel comfortable. I don't have I don't feel like I normally when I get in and I since yesterday I have to, I would rather I even if it would go to my TP now, something's just off for me. It's hard to explain. You know, I hit a daily open 705. We're gonna react from here. Should go lower, but I'm in it already, so I'm not touching it. Whatever happens should happen. I don't have the full confidence like I normally have, to be honest. What strategy do you trade with? Well, normally I'm a distribution trader. I prefer to trade 1 hour or 4 hour distribution candles. But as we are in a larger, higher time frame, I'm struggling a little bit because I would love to see displacement away from areas and then get like so normally I try to position myself. If we have a new hourly candle, I try to position myself between the open and the manipulation weight. So, well, so because of ES, right? You know, because of this, ES hasn't reached to the end dog yet, and we still have the daily open here, and that. Why is everybody asking me about Raja Banks? Who the fuck is Raja Banks? Everybody, every day I get the question, do you know Raja Banks? No, I don't know him. I heard of him, but I don't know him. I find it odd when people are asking, who is Raja Banks? Why do I get the question every day? Why should I know Raja Banks? I want to know my community. No, I get it. If someone is interesting, it's fine. But I get this question now every day. Who is Raja Banks? Why is everyone asking if I know him? Okay, we are moving away from this area so that it's sort of like, okay, let's see if it holds. Now, I technically would want to take my stop loss below this wick because now I would say if it goes below this wick, it would invalidate my trade and making my stop loss a little bit smaller. So I'm going to do that because if it would go into that wick, It's going to go lower anyway. And I'll let me just change that. Yeah, I know. But it's always the same question, right? What is your it's always the same. What is your strategy? And then it's like maybe it's Raja Banks himself. Yeah, this is actually something, one of my rules, I think. When it hits 702, you either trade the other direction or you wait. I never like it to enter at a 702 level when it hit, like here, example. Like, even though it might go higher, it's going to take time. Yeah, I'm going to get out of this trade. I don't like it. I'm not following my rules. Um, that was not what, yeah. I'm going to wait. Even if it would go higher, it's going to take time. Because we hit very specific levels, previous day EQ on ES, and 702 and daily open on NQ. One of my rules is if it's you're either going to wait for continuation or you're going to trade the other side. I'm going to wait. We still got 10 minutes. Yeah, it's I never trust it when people are, if somebody writes something down and somebody says, "Oh, are you a mentor?" And it's like, it's nothing special that someone is. So they come in pairs sometimes, people, and they try to complement each other, right? So to trigger, it is very scammy. We're protecting our little community. We're protecting. Okay, guys, let's do. I hate how the comments they have like 20 different bots asking about the same guy. Then post there was yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, we're still doing very good when it comes to new all-time high. Yes, 49, 51, no. Okay, guys, let's zoom more into the next macro. Um, the 350 macro. Are we going to go higher? So I had a winning streak for 11 days, right? So I had like 11 awesome days. And I already said to you guys, it cannot continue if you have 11 days in a row, really, really exceptionally green. So since yesterday, it's like I'm not really in tune. I can feel it. I'm just like, because I'm sort of like wondering if that was the first time I have actually 11 days in a row that it's been so exceptionally green. So I'm sort of like, okay, struggling a little bit now. And I'm also looking at the market. Yeah, okay, yeah. So I really want to preserve my capital and not give back. So, um, and it's okay to, you cannot be on a continuous winning streak. As you are not always on a losing, your losing streak always also has an end date as your winning streak as well. So I guess my ending of my winning streak was yesterday because I ended. It was minor, but it was a not. It was a red day on my evals, and but I'm hoping I'm not getting 11 of those days, even though they're minor. I don't know. It's a very close poll. Yeah, but it's also, but it's you can, if the market is sort of like also you can, I think it's really how your brain, like you have sometimes these pictures and what do you see? Do you see a wolf or do you see a witch? And it depends on which side of the brain is working, right? And I can frame it both ways. But once we get over these levels, I mean, once we get over these end dogs, I mean, once we get over this level, we're going to go to 800. So let's see. 315 macro. Let's say remaining London pre-market bullish or bearish? Oh, what am I doing? I'm also thinking I'm a little bit like, okay, I'm aware of that 11-day winning streak. So I'm sort of like, don't give it away, Richard. To the moon or bearish, to speak in Richard's term. Okay, bullish. I'm going to change bullish to the moon or bearish. Hey, Nokolan, it depends really. London can be really awesome, and it just depends a bit of this. Everything goes in cycles. Sometimes London is awesome. We have large moves, and already the big moves are already in London. Sometimes, well, now Asia. Remember in the pre-market prep, I said most likely we'll get the short in Asia. Again, Asia gave the proper short. I'm always missing the shorts now because they're most of the times in Asia. And I sleep then, or I try to sleep. And sometimes, but London isn't always. Lately, I'm also struggling with London a little bit. I'm better. I'm doing better in New York pre-market and the 11-day winning streak, obviously. Um, but there has been time that I did really, really well in London as well, and it just goes. It just depends on the cycle, I guess. But yeah, just I don't limit yourself by. But I think it's good to really focus on an area when you are able to trade off, right? And study it because I think London and every session has its own little things that you start to recognize. Okay, let's see, guys. Yeah, I'm happy that I got out of that long. 705. But I still think we could go higher though. Let's see. I favor the long, but hey, guys, I'm just not as sharp as I should be, as I normally feel like I am. So don't listen to me, or don't trade off my advice lately, these 2 days. The best advice that I can give you is sometimes to stay out. Okay, let's watch how far. That wick. I'm still curious. I mean, we'll know later, but let's see if that wick has any. Okay, let's disregard the wick. I'm gonna disregard the whole wick now. Okay, we went back to 3 o'clock. Where's midnight? Midnight is all the way here, right? Order block, propulsion block. We lift off, but is this the high? It's NFP week. So you want to be in NFP week, you want to be careful on Wednesday. Yes, there is news, but you want to be done most of the time before 11 o'clock lunch, because NFP, because on Thursday it's sort of like price will be most likely a lot of the times will being held in a specific range. Not always, but a lot of the times it does. Um, let's see. Get a retest here. Oh, this 4 hours, so horrible. I hate it. I hate it. Um, so today at 10 o'clock we've got Orange Fallen News, Jolts. No other, I don't have any other news I see. And tomorrow, I know a lot of traders that don't even trade the whole NFP week. They just skip it. But hey, listen, sometimes there's still good trades to be found. So if you're struggling in this week, it's always, it's one of the most challenging, it can be most of the time challenging weeks because it's just setting up. And if, um, hold on. Yeah, so tomorrow it's Wednesday, right? We've got non-farm employment claims at 8:15 and 10 o'clock news again. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. And then on Thursday, so Thursday NFP week was, according to my stats, always my worst day. um, Unemployment claims at 8:30. So let's see. Are we holding this little inversion here? Are we bouncing off this area here? Let's see. We've got a propulsion, sorry, not a propulsion, but a suspension block in here, right? Okay, maybe we're going to trade all the way back to maybe 3,500. Let's see. Um, am I lagging? Oh, that might be the internet. Is that for more? Is that for more? Does it happen a lot? Because I don't see anything on my end, but it's important for me to know because if they're working on the internet and they're gonna screw up my internet, because I'm very worried. Yesterday they started installing fiber at my neighbors. That's why I had to run out all the time to see what they were doing. So I'm sort of like oh, your chart is lagging about every 20-30 seconds, not your camera. Oh, is it? That's weird. Richard, there's no body closure yet over the 4 hour, if I'm looking at the 4 hour, but I think we're going to inverse it. But we don't have a body close. You're calling this 4 hour candle here? We haven't inversed it yet because we still need to go over this level, which I think we will might likely do. But yeah, we have inverted the 1 hour. But I just don't trust. We just hit 705, and I'm gonna get a little bit more reaction here. We're in the macro already. Let's see. We retested the 3 o'clock at 3:45. Bearish. Mhm. There's a decoupling of ES and I don't like that ES and NQ are decoupled. On the 15-minute, they're decoupled. I don't like it. Um, let's see at 4 o'clock. We did go into this 15-minute fair value gap, but as you can see, the 15-minute is going lower and Q is going higher. Okay, 4 o'clock. Two, 7. See, the thing that I think is going to happen is ES is going to hit this one, and Q might stall here again. So let's see, ES is going to go a little bit pushing, and then we are not going to get any continuation for now. Let's see. Well done. Near this level. Boom. Okay, let's see. Okay. Hmm. Is it time to start positioning ourselves to all the way up to 800? Okay, you can go off. I don't think we're going to go lower, but yeah, we are back at original consolidation of yesterday's London session, remember? And Q is above the N dog now. That is very, very bullish. And ES also above this level and now going for this to the midpoint. Nothing bearish about this market yet, guys. Nothing bearish about this market yet. Nothing bearish about the market yet. Now we inverted the 4-hour. Right over here. But let's see if we get a body closure. It's a 4-hour, so we could just wick and just go lower again. So that's what I'm looking for. If it really wants to close over this level, or is it going to go, now are we going to get a reversal or something? Or a retracement, I should say. Okay, this is not working anymore. Richard, are you holding all the way to 800? Hey, once we start going, I think we're going to go higher. Hey, Lucky Mon, how are you? Every day, all-time high during Globek session and New York session. Yeah, yesterday, yeah. I think you, and then the short and the large moves are done in Asia, right? That's a good observation. Yeah, I mean, I think 30,800 is definitely, I'm getting more into like probability, right? Richard, where did you enter? Where was your, Richard, where did you enter? Where was your position? Where did you position yourself? I think you might have told me or said it in the chat, but sorry, I was a little bit distracted at some point. So here is a 15-minute inversion, right? And like if you have an inversion, you can consider this all like an inversion. You wait for the inversion. It's also above Asia high. Now the important thing is here at we retested that, so you want a body closure above it and then a retest and then at 2 o'clock. So this This should, I'm thinking of starting the stream a little bit earlier because because I want to, I'm a distribution trader of the, preferably the 4 hour. Now I will say that in a scenario like this, it's difficult because it's not distributing away from an area. So I'm still struggling in those areas a little bit. But for me, for people, you know, you get the bot always asking, what is your strategy? I should have entered here. This is the two between 2 o'clock and the wick that we created, right? Retesting the inversion here, right? And then go higher. Now, I would not have traded it higher than, like I said, up to this end dog, just to be on the safe side. So this would have been my trade to here, up to here. So not an extremely large distribution, because I use those end dogs and end walks as TPs or as areas where I can trade towards or from. So I would never anticipate, because I would just reassess here. I would reassess, okay, are we going to go higher or not, right? So now on the so yes, 15 minute, but 1 hour as well, I believe. Let me check. So on the 1 hour, you can consider this an inversion. It's the same story. Inversion is even more clearer here, right? Inversion, retest, boom, and then up to here. So I already counted the points. It wasn't such a large move, but it was only 60 points. But so you can see, because why? You can see exactly on ES what's happening. It only trades towards the end dog, and now it's reversing most likely or retracing, I should say, from here. Now, for some reason, I'm not too confident in this market, as you can see. 245, you enter 245. Yeah, I'm struggling, and I just don't feel it. I guess yesterday I was really tired. Today I'm just, I don't know. Sometimes you have it, right? I've been at 11, I killed it 11 days. So I'm allowing myself to have off days. I'm not hard on myself. I'm not like, oh my God, I'm not seeing it, I'm not trading it. Oh my God, blah, blah, blah. It happens, right? I've performed so well for 11 days in a row, so. That was IB breakout, 245, 3-minute FUG. Oh, you looked at 3-minute, let me check. 245, so that's in this one. Yeah, for me, it should have been the retest. You know, also Asia highs and lows are also like an area that are retested a lot, as you can see here, right? So 2 o'clock opens up, we go higher, we retest it, and then we're off to the races. Also order block here on the 15-minute. Beautiful retest of the order block right on top of an inversion. It's always easy in hindsight, but in hindsight you learn, right? And you see what you missed. 3-minute inversion. 230, again, also, I should not have missed this as well. Look, 230, we are retesting this area here. But yeah. 245. Okay, I see what you're using this one on top of this order block. Yeah, I gotcha. That's a beautiful 3-minute order block. It's actually a propulsion block. But again, also this is bullish, right, guys? We have a bullish fair value gap right through the daily open. That's bullish. It's the same with the gradients. If you have like, it's telling you that's more upside coming, right? It's not done yet to the upside. I think I want to position my, where did I, do you need, Yeah, no, we're not gonna do the chop because there's no chop coming. We don't want chop anymore. I love your accent. It really makes the channel more desirable. It's soothing. Hardly an accent. I grew up in Singapore. I was raised English. I spoke English a lot when I was a kid, and I've traveled a lot. And I haven't spoken Dutch for a long time since I've been in South Africa. It's weird. I have some Dutch people, some friends here, and we speak English now with each other. But sometimes we start speaking, and I feel like I'm really having a Dutch accent now because I hardly speak Dutch. I can, you know, I translate things maybe in Dutch sometimes, but yeah, I just grew up, and I've got family in Houston as well. I spend a lot of time in Houston. So I've been traveling so much. My main language was Dutch, but now it's just English. But some people will really recognize the Dutch though. They still hear the Dutch accent. But it's sounding. I feel weird now when I speak Dutch because I really feel like am I articulating my words very a lot. So, but hey guys, just listen. Hold on. I just want to see if I can position myself now because I see order block. I see daily open. What time is it? 4:15. Oh, I'm just. We're over this already. 4 hour. It looks so bullish to me. The I had a Dutch godfather. He left wood ducks and collected wooden clogs. He was amazing, kindest person ever. Well, with Dutchies we can be pretty straightforward, but I guess we're nice people in general. Moon, 67% think we're going to the moon. Yeah, I am bullish as well now. I mean, now look, everything that now it's hard to stay bearish. We are definitely. It looks like we're continuing to the upside. We hardly had a pullback. We are bullish going through the daily open. 409. I think we're going to continue to the upside until 5 o'clock. I think we're going to have an hour of continuation to the upside. Let me. Okay, I'm gonna, guys. I'm off. I'm not as fast and good, so I'm just gonna paper trade from now on until pre-market prep. I like it that we have a bearish, but it needs to have logic. No, I'm just not gonna paper trade. We are bullish. Look, daily open. We went lower. We went into that blue line. We only wicked below it. We retested 3 o'clock. Now we went bullish through this fair value gap. Now the question is, I still think we're going to go higher, but either I need to widen my stop a little bit, or because I don't think we're going to get a large pullback. Because look, we've been building on top of this is all balanced. I think balanced in the sense of it doesn't need to go lower to balance out imbalances. That's what I mean with it's not imbalanced. We are leaving lows, but I think we need like a news drive or something to go lower again. But for now, the only thing that I don't like is this here. We could use this order block to go higher again. But this is too high for me. I can't use that as a stop loss. That's ridiculous. Yeah, I'm gonna go for this wick. What are you doing? Okay, I need to. Oh, I can actually. Where's my trade? Okay, I'm gonna do this. Yeah, okay. It's 35 points. My max is always 40. I say that, right? I can do that. I can do that. Oh, there you go. You're gonna go all the way up to 800. So I don't think we have any reason, maybe to just go in here and retest this area, this order block, to go much lower. If so, then my trade is wrong. I'm just paper trading now, guys. I already have I was off 2 times already. When you're off a couple of times, you have to trust it. That means you either need to reset yourself. But if you are off the ball a couple of times after a winning streak, because I think sometimes maybe also your brain can get tired after. I had 11-day winning streak with massive, massive, massive gains. I never had so much in 11 days in a row. I mean, I'm talking like, you can go back into the channel. It is like over every day, over 100 and over 100 points every day, and not one trade. No, sometimes I had three trades with the same amount or even high. It was just ridiculous. So I don't know if that drains your mental capital. I have no idea, but it's fine for me to not be reading. And also, if I look at this, like, okay, well, So if you feel off, just paper trade. Nothing wrong with it. Until you feel back, okay, I feel like now I'm reading, I'm on the ball again, I'm fast enough, I'm reading it. But yeah. So I'm looking like we can retest and use this as an order block to go higher again. But if it goes lower than this one, I should not. I should make it 40 points. My max is 40 points. I always say it. And then I can just do something else and just let it go. Retest this area again. You don't want to go lower than 50% of this order block, then it invalidates the trade. You are tired of winning. Props don't even allow swing trades. Well, it's rule based, so I mean, there's too much risk, overnight risk. So I get it. If I would have a prop firm, I wouldn't allow overnight trading as well. There's too much risk involved, right? Okay, I want to look at the levels again. 0.14. 623. I would take one off here, 623, and then leave a runner up to 623. Six six three. Six six three. I like this. It's not the full. It's not higher than the high yet, but thinking maybe it might reject here, like a rejection block, lower and then higher. Then I'll re-enter it after the rejection, or we might. I might take one off here, six here, and then yeah, we'll see. See, we've got one of those wicks again. Now, after this wick, I might... Oh, look at my stop loss. Wow, it almost went to my stop. Did I place my stop loss really, really well? Okay. I like this wick because that is giving us some. Oh, my stop loss should have been below the 4 o'clock. Yeah, that was it. Okay, here it is. It should be below this imbalance here. Or I was allowing myself the 40 points. That was it. Okay, I didn't move my stop. Yeah, 40 points. Here it is. So one can argue, yeah, why are you going in and not just wait if you're already expecting it to move? This is because I journal this. If I don't journal it, I can't make the logic, if that makes sense. I want to see the price goes here, goes lower. So I preferably, I don't enter, I don't like trades, 40 point stop loss. I do sometimes, but most of the times it gets very tricky. Then I'm off already. But why I like to do these things is if I visualize it here for myself now, and this scenario happens, I know next time that, okay, you know what? It went to one of my, the thing that I'm very good at is managing to mark areas where things can resist and where they move. And you can see here my blue lines, bodies are not, and here the red lines are, you can see the bodies are not going into it and we're going lower. So I very well am aware to mark the areas where I think these PDRAs will be used. And you can see it on my chart. So what I like to do now, as I'm off, I'm like, okay, it doesn't mean I'm not going to study the market. I'm like, okay, is this a new entry where I should take a new, if I am not reading it correctly, and I'm thinking, okay, looking at the time, I still think we're going to go higher, but I'm like, okay, where is the entry where I can enter when you miss this whole move, right? If I missed my entry here, which should have been in this area, and let's say I got out because the end dog is here and I want to reposition myself. I really want to have a good, I want to position myself in a way that I'm like, okay, now that's a good area, which give me another at least 100-point trades, because that's what I always look for, right? So what I'm doing right now is visualizing the area where, how this is behaving within these two areas. Like, is it going to hold this BC, sorry? Or are we going to retest this whole area because we got this little imbalance here, right? Or are we just going to leave it for later on, maybe? So that's why I'm visualizing this trade. So I can journal it. So that's why I journal my paper trades, and I love to paper trade, and especially when I'm like off the ball a little bit, like I'm not comfortable, and every time I'm too late, and I just don't know, and I just don't feel, I feel like I'm, well, Mr. Chaos, he said you feel stressed. I'm not stressed, but I'm just not. I think what Mr. Chaos noticed that I'm not as confident in my trades as I am normally taking them. Doesn't mean I'm stressed. I'm just not confident, and it can happen, right? Sometimes you just don't read the market as you should, and I think it can be a thing after an 11-day winning streak. I don't know, maybe subconsciously I'm like, oh my god, I'm going to lose now because I've been winning 11 days. I don't know if it's impacting my brain a little bit. Like, yeah, you cannot have more than 11 days. It should end somewhere. I think that's going on, maybe. No, I don't think I need a break. Well, I don't need a break. I just need to be. Um, yeah, maybe I need a break. But I don't really think I know when I'm really fed up with trading, you would know and I would say it. I don't think it's that, but I think something we just have to be aware sometimes that we go through cycles ourselves, right? And you can't always be the. I think because what we're doing is actually we're doing something at a very high level. I mean, once you get good, when you know, you need to have full focus sometimes, and if you don't have the full focus, trading is not something that I think also the what we think like, oh, I'm just going to travel and just trade along my. I think you need like the routine. You need to have really a set your office, and you need a daily routine to get your brain in the right mindset as well. And sometimes it's just not there, and I'm feeling it right now. I'm like, oh, I'm also a little bit insecure, even though it might go there, and I don't know. It's so weird. It's a really weird thing to experience, and it's very hard to explain. It's very hard to explain. Um, yeah, let me do. I want to do a poll. How many people? How many can relate to what I'm feeling? Like you have models, you know you're profitable, you do really really well, you know I'm very confident, even I'm confident in losing trades as well, but now I'm even feeling like, oh my god, I'm even scared to enter a trade, even a paper trade. It's just like, I just don't know. It's really weird. It's a very weird sensation to feel. Oh, I have a friend who made the whole entire month of May without any red day. Wow. Yeah, and for me, it's also new to have 11 winning days with exceptional high profits on a row. Ask your friend how is he feeling? I don't know. It's maybe I think it's weird. How am I? Can they continue? But yeah, I feel a little bit like. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Right now, so what I like to see is that 4:31, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if we continue up to until 5 o'clock. So if this is now holding, I'm going to raise my stop above this, below this wick, because then if this wick should now be protected, and then we shouldn't retest it again. But let me just wait. I'm going to wait because I really want to see price leave this red box. Then I'm going to move my stop loss to this area, because then we are not going to most likely go back. But if it's wicking and going lower again, it might go back into this area here, to this little, um, yeah, so I don't want to see a wick like here and then not going into the red box. So what, oh, let me go to the 1 minute. Let's see, we closed already. Oh, okay. So then I can move it here. So he had a whole entire month without any red day. That's awesome. That I would love to have that. Okay, let's see. I really want to see it go above the midpoint of this area. What time is it? 4:33. Well, water flows, I have mentors. I mean, I wouldn't be here without my mentors. I don't think Richard means it in a way that depending on someone. I think it's more. of just, little things that help you grow further. I mean, I can still listen and learn from people, but you have to be, I think the approach is you can have mentors, but you still have to build your own trading identity, right? While you have mentors, you pick some of that one, you pick some of this person, you learn, oh, that doesn't appeal to me at all what that person does, but I like that. And then you have to form your own trading identity and your own trading style, and you use things of different people that that form you. Yeah, and I have a trading background, coaching background. So coaching is a very, it's just to raise awareness. It's sort of like coaching. You don't want to change. You're not changing anyone, but just you help people to accelerate. And we all have blind spots, and with a coach or a mentor, they can help you to see those blind spots. So coaching goes a little bit deeper than just a mentor, but I understand. So yeah, it doesn't matter how good you are or where you are in life, right? You always can have a bit of coach. I can still reach out to someone and say, listen, can you coach me? Because like for example, like say if I would feel this let's say like I feel this little unease with, and like if I would have this like for over a couple of weeks, I would say, listen, I need someone to get me out of that. It might be a blockage that suddenly, you don't know what happens. I'm like, oh my God, I've got a blockage to trade. What's going on? I can't figure it out. And then there's always someone that knows more and is better than me. And, I'm just giving a strange, I don't think it will happen, but I'm just giving you an example. But that doesn't mean that I'm not, someone who can trade by myself, but maybe I want someone to, I want to accelerate a little bit more and improve something. I think life is about continuous improvement of things. The growth never stops, and it doesn't matter in what area, right? And growing as a trader also means growing maybe on different aspects in life. If you have a discipline problem, well, if your mentor caused you to lose 30,000, I think it's a wrong approach already, because you should never, like I said, you take things from people that appeal to you and you have to build it into your own, but don't build trading plans of anyone. That's why when, was it Kinjian, he was asking, yeah, you can listen to people, but don't trade off other people, not even your mentor. You have to backtest. The thing is, look, if someone, look, I have a student, but I'm very, it's very strictly rule based, and I train her to backtest everything, data driven. Look at results. It's not like you don't take anything from anyone unless you have back tested and gave it your own way of looking at it. It's very simple. You took something from a mentor and you took it for the truth. But mentors can also teach you something that doesn't work. Don't bet your money on it. Don't listen to anyone. Don't put your money on anyone else's, whatever they say. You back test it, you forward test it. And you have to put data behind it before you use it and put your money at ease. I mean, yeah. A guy named the Einstein of Wall Street tried 30K. Imagine a stranger for 30K. Wow. Hey, I'll do it for 15K. That's ridiculous. Yeah, Thea, I also I prefer forward testing as well. But hey, listen, there's nothing wrong with, some people like to back test, and it's good to learn, how to execute and stuff like that. But for me, the forward testing has so much more value. But then again, journal, 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 journal. Yeah. Hi, I think it will show great breakout in just 2 3 minutes. Hey, Cod Mobile by Rothe Kilzer. It's a long name. Well, who knows? Remaining London moon or bearish, still 68% thing to the moon. Yeah, we are forming again. You know, it's the same structure. You see the same structure here? It's almost the same structure that we did is almost here, right? So, oh. But yeah, never. I mean, guys, it's so important. I love your Hilary. I was probably drunk, laughed, and explained that 30K was insane. Were you really? Oh, it's a true story. The search for the golden ball costs an average of 30. Well, you know, there's not a issue with spending money on getting your knowledge because we're getting a PhD in finance. So at some point, look, ICT is for free. But there's a lot of things out there that, you know, that might have to cost you a little bit of money, but it shouldn't cost as much though. I mean, not those amounts, I think. But once you get the hang, once you start understanding the market, and it just takes time. But that's why your journal is going to be your best mentorship. Your journal is your best mentorship. Now you have to start, sometimes you need a little bit of direction to help you out. To show you something, and you back test, you forward test that what that person is telling you, and then you figure out it's working for me or it's not working for me. But don't take anything from anyone and trade of it until you back tested it or forward test it and journal it, and then you build your model, and then you trust it. But you have to have your own brain needs to process whatever that person told you. You have to give it your own look at it, and yeah. But yeah, it is always starts somewhere, right? We all make the mistake. I mean, I've been scammed. I paid $6,000 for a course. I did the same thing, and it's a shame because exactly water flows. No one will make you money except yourself. You just take bits and pieces from people, and for some things that might resonate to you, but and other things not. But yeah, you are the only one that will make you or lose money, but it's all in your hands, right? Yeah. See, what I don't like is that this red box is telling me right now that it's not ready to move. Price is now below it, and it's just not giving. This is something that I have figured out with my journaling to mark these proper areas where I can see price. That's why I wasn't eager to take this trade anymore from here because I was already that it might resist. So I watched those areas. This is something I learned, as you know, obviously something that I've been journaling for 3 years and studying. I'm not just going to give, but these are all things you can figure out because it's all algorithmic, right? Um, but the only thing I can say, it's always time over price. I have a degree and it's worthless. Crazy high school enters a lifetime of debt for 4 years, drinking and partying. Yeah. Hey, that's nowadays the school systems are not as yeah, a lot of people that are just streetwise are actually smarter than people that come from education. Yeah. Especially those whole universities, they're just sort of activist centers nowadays. They're just literally raising people to be activists and crazy ideas that have nothing to do with real life anymore. crazy history. Hey, listen, in the Netherlands, it's like they're Richard. I mean, it's hard, you know. I left Europe, but they're raising men to not be men anymore there, and I think Richard knows what I'm saying. It's like you have to be weak. You're not allowed to have any show any testosterone if you're a man. Then you're already toxic. It's crazy. It's crazy stuff. I'm like, yeah. Oh, toxic masculinity is a real. It's like what? That's why Europe cannot defend themselves anymore because they don't have an army with men. It's crazy. What time is it? 4:45. So I framed this the area that I could also just frame the trade. Literally the trade is between these two lines. Like, okay, if we really go lower than the blue line, it invalidates the whole bullish thing. I'm still bullish though. I'm still bullish. But I just want to see how long and how far are we going to dig into this area. Because you see how beautifully within the also the blue line here we have literally an inversion. We retested it. So I think this is a solid low. But I just want to make sure that, so now I should actually bring it. What time is it? 4:46. I think at some point I can bring it up to this, but I still want to, I don't know, we still have a little gap here. We'll see. And you know, guys, when you're on the when you look at the 4 hour at 6 o'clock and you have a body closure above the end dog, it's very bullish, right? Yeah, here they call it toxic. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's crazy. I mean, you're not allowed to be a man because then you're being called toxic. Just showing manly traits is considered a negative. It's so weird. It's so weird. It's very weird. I thought it would become a rocket, but it's trying to be a submarine. That's why my girlfriend is Latin. Oh, you have a Latina. Ooh, nice and spicy. Because I lead the yes, exactly. Yeah, it's like, you know, Latina. Where's she from? Oh God, you're from, no, I'm, I don't think Richard's Latina girlfriend is from India. You're from India, I think, right? Are you from India? I love, I mean, I almost moved to Costa Rica, by the way. It was either Costa Rica or South Africa. But hey, I'm still interested in South America. I love South America. So I love the Latin culture. You know, the men are machismo, but I mean, oh, Peru. I had a Colombian boyfriend, by the way. Yeah, Colombiano. The Dutch has become. I've traveled a bit. I've lived in many places. Actually, I did not live in Munich. I was traveling a lot while I was still working in the. I worked for KLM, so I could travel very easily. You see how it's bouncing off that red line? Um, what's kin? What's kin? Did you learn Spanish from it? No, actually, there was a problem at that point. I didn't really speak English a lot, Spanish a lot, and there was he lived in Santa Marta. And they had a very, very different accent. So I was studying a little bit of Spanish, but oh my God, I couldn't. I was like really struggling to understand him. It was very. It was a very different dialect. It was very. So it was a little bit difficult. But yeah, it was quite interesting too. And I had the most amazing. I did a road trip with him as his dad through Colombia. Oh, wow, that was an adventure with true. The dad, he died very quickly after that road. That was so sad because I would have been, even though I broke up with him, the dad was such an amazing dad, such a nice guy, and um, the road trip with them. It was actually their. They took me on the road trip that they actually did as a family a lot of the time. So I went to places I would have never ever seen as a tourist. But man, that was a road trip on itself. It was quite an adventure. That was truly an adventure, I can tell you that. But yeah, I love Colombia. Oof, I just really like Colombia. Um, what's KLM? Oh, yeah, it is the airline, the Dutch airlines. Yeah, I used to be in IT. I used to start actually as a gate agent. Then I went into IT. I became a functional application manager for basically load control and for the pilots, for their load sheet, every application that was necessary for baggage and for under the wing, so to speak. And then in that job, I became a Scrum Master, which is because I had a coaching background already before that. So then I started to be a Scrum Master, which is also for the IT teams. So that's where the mentoring a little bit comes from. That I was like, okay, I like to do the streams, but I do like to, well, coaching, mentoring a little bit, you know. Um, oh, you're Haitian. Okay, wow, look at that. We've got people from all over the world. What do you do there? Where? You mean, I made a mistake. I was going to add one micro and ending at two. I entered a little bit too early. And I'm really tired. Yeah, so Jose, listen, when you're tired, remember also, I said that yesterday or the day before, I'm tired. Or Friday, I'm so tired, I can't see it. Let's just stop. So when you're tired or you feel sick or you just don't feel at ease, you just don't trade or just paper trade. Yeah. Trading is also about knowing when not to trade. And sometimes it will move without you. It is what it is. And then you just journal it. But yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, I had a really, really nice experiences already and very active, just, adventurous life, so to speak. Now I'm very calm. I'm very calm. I've had all my, when I used to work for KLM, we could travel cheap. We would go party a night in London. Just we take a plane because it doesn't cost us much. We would take a plane early in the afternoon, and then we go back. We take the first plane in the morning back. Things like that. Crazy life. But Jomo, yes. Do you know your human design? You sound like a projector 6-2. No, I have no idea. We do have the INTJ and things like that, but we did those tests while I was working in the and it's funny, but you change over time as well. When you do one of those tests, like and then you do the test 10 years, you can grow and you can change. So those tests they came out like at some point a little bit different as well. But I don't know that type actually. I'm always thinking it's interesting to know those things because it looked bearish. Well, I don't think bearish. Well, what you want to see at 6 o'clock, like, listen, guys, if there is still a body closure above 6, we get continuation to the upside on the 4 hour. But it might not want to do it in this 4 hour candle. You have to always think as well, like, what do they want to do? Like, they always want to make people think in the wrong direction. So let's say we are getting this upside move. But they might not want to continue it in this 4 hour candle, right? So what are they doing? They might bring it down a little bit, but within certain levels. You don't want certain things to happen, right? It either has to still respect an inversion or just retest an inversion. But what also could happen is that we could go back into this range here. Like I said, you want to watch this. Like for me, the bullishness will be, I really don't want them to go much lower than this. That's why I have my lines here. This is bullish structure, but it's okay for them to retest and maybe, take out this low and then maybe this little imbalance here. But then let's see if we have a 5-minute order block or something. Yeah. It doesn't look, I don't think so. It still looks bullish to me, but they could still retest this area here. This could be retested, but as I said, I don't want it to go lower than this blue line. Life short, you need to live a made experience, but you need to have money for that. Yes, exactly. You do. But I was in the, when I did a lot of traveling, I worked for KLM and I could travel cheap. So, but you still need money for that. But you have to make concessions. Um, so for me now, in order to live, so moving away from the Netherlands and not going back, the only way that I can make it work is by trading. Because I'm not allowed to have a job here. I'm not allowed, which makes sense. You're not allowed to take, the job situation is very dire already in South Africa. So they don't want you to take a job from what a South African person can do. And by that also, they don't make a lot of money here. The jobs are not really, so I totally get it. So the only way for me to support my way of living now, which is different than obviously when I used to work for the airline, is to trade. Or I can go back to do online projects, but which I don't want to do anymore. So yeah. So Richard, I'm quite interested about those human design. What else are they? I don't know if you can send me something in what do you do actually, Richard? Um, I know I know a little bit, but I don't think it was the whole story. Um, it's interesting to sometimes to go over by yourself, like what is my let's call it human design, and test yourself every couple of years to see if you have changed and if you want to make improvements in certain areas or want to grow in certain areas. It's always good to see where you're at, and I think growing personally, no, Lance, it makes sense. No, but it's the same. If I would go to the US, I'm also not allowed to have, unless I get a permanent residency. But no, but you cannot. I mean, listen, it's already a big problem here. And also, especially the jobs for the, they have a lot of people coming in from all over, from Mozambique, from Namibia, from whatever. And they're taking away all the jobs from South Africans. And a lot of people are very, very poor here. They need jobs. So it makes it, a lot of countries also, it would be the same for me in a lot of Latin American countries. You know, it makes sense. Unless you have a job that they need, if you are in a field that they need, you're allowed to. But it makes sense. I mean, it's okay. And who, you know, it pushes me to do this more. I mean, it pushed me to really, when I was here, I'm like, okay, what, do you want to make it work or not? You want to go back to the Netherlands? No, I don't. Okay, then there's no plan B. You better make it work. And you study your ass off. So I did. So, but it makes sense, especially in countries that are struggling. Yeah, you cannot let people come in and take their jobs from people that are, you know, depending on it. And they're still, I mean, I don't know how much I think people over 70% are jobless here. They can't find a job. It's really difficult. It's very difficult. Yeah. Yeah, hey, listen, I love the US. I think the US is an awesome country. And you need to clean up some shit that, I mean, I think your previous president was a bit of a retard, but um, I think you have an awesome country, one of the best of the world, and still is. Um, the US really provides the most, but work is a trap. Yes, I agree. Everyone is lived just by a paycheck and they're forced to remain. Exactly. You have to work towards freedom. If you already understand that when you're working and position yourself that way that it's just a stepping stone, don't become depending on your job. Try to build freedom. Yes. I'm also going to, guys, I think it's time to go enjoy my freedom, go to the beach, have a nice walk, clear my head a little bit, and prepare myself for pre-market prep. I definitely want to get out of this feeling that I have right now. It's bothering me a little bit. So, yeah. You're in, no, I'm in Thiag. I'm in South Africa right now. I live in South Africa. I am Dutch. I am from the Netherlands originally, but I am currently residing in South Africa. Yes, I live here now. See you, Richard. Richard, I only have pre-market prep. I want to start streaming in New York, but I fell asleep last PM session. I'm not really sure about the, because I do pre-market prep, the AM session is a little bit too short to do. So I would rather focus on pre-market prep and maybe extend that a little bit longer. I'm still trying to figure out what to do. But I think for now it's just London and pre-market prep. Yes. And then I'm trying to do the PM session if I don't fall asleep because it's late at night here, right? I've just been a little bit tired, so, but I love PM session. I love lunch PM. I love it. So, yeah. Well, thank you, Richard. I appreciate your input. Okay, we're in a macro right now. I wonder if it's going to be a short, if it's going to take all these levels now. Let's see if those levels are holding. I want to see if my levels are holding because it's important. This is now, like I said, I want to see this retested. But is this a retest? Like, is this order block going to be just retested and we go back up? Here, now then I'm journaling it. Okay, next time, for example, would you go up, position yourself, wait a little bit longer, position yourself, then at this time, right, for the continuation to the upside? Or is it as the max being reached and are we going to go lower? Look how bearish an ES looks now. You see what I mean? I just want to point out why I would have only traded towards the end dog. Because see, this is exactly the reaction that you normally see from end dogs, right? It's like a magnet that is a draw on liquidity, and then it can reach its objective. So I would have never traded NQ higher than here in this scenario, or maybe to the midpoint max, for example. So I really want to see confirmation to the upside above it if I would continue, if I want to continue. That's why I was a little bit struggling to enter, because of this scenario that you see here. I was thinking it might do that on NQ, right? So end dogs are draws on magnets, but they're also like sort of barriers. They can function as support and resistance, if that makes sense. And sometimes it can be just a retracement. Like, for example, if we never go back to this level, obviously, I think we're just going to go up higher again, and we're just having a small retracement, and then we go back up. But that's why I would always, always take my TP to one of those levels and then reassess again. So, hey, listen, I'm doing Lance. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's so I appreciate that. But I'm also still growing as a trader, and I'm doing very, very well. And yeah, but it's okay. I mean, I'm just open to. I'm accepting that I'm also still have moments like I'm like, okay. And also, like I said before, I am not good at these areas when it's like, this is higher time frame, like lower time frame consolidation. We also have higher time frame consolidation, which is, for me, I never excel in that area. I am aware of that. So you have to know where you are good in and where you are, of yourself that I might be a little bit off here, or just I need to study that more. So it's okay. But yeah, I'm doing well, and I'm very accepting that it's okay to have an off day. But look, listen, my levels are, I mean, I'm already very proud that my levels are working. I'm testing like that. Yeah, it's in the level. Let's see if it stays in these levels. Then I know I can use it, I can trust it more and trade of it more, right? So anyway, thank you, Lance, and thank you for your honesty as well. I mean, it takes courage to also, share these things that you shared with us. So, yeah, you have a good. Don't smoke too much. Stay off the stuff for the rest of the week. Back in the weekend, you can do it. I'm just joking. But yeah, maybe I mean it a little bit. Anyway, guys, thank you so much again. So no, I took a few steps. I can't even remember what I did, to be honest. I know it didn't work. I know it didn't work. That's all I know. But hey, listen, it's 5 o'clock now. We did not run up. We are. Yeah, I would just really be cautious for now, and maybe just wait, maybe till price shows you a little bit more what it wants to do, and use these levels, right? If it goes over this level, we start moving back towards this, we have a continuation, and I really think we can reach 800, but we'll see. It's going to be an interesting day today, I think. Anyway, thank you guys again, and I'll see pre-market preppers in a bit, and London session tomorrow again, obviously. So thank you guys. Love you. Ciao, ciao. And thank you again for just being so part of the community that we're building. Ciao.